There we are. Live on Twitch. Testing.
There you go.
There we are. Now, how do we check numbers of people who see us? How did we watch that last time? I can't even remember. Were we looking at Facebook and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, we got people. All right. Shipley. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, hey guys, welcome. So it's a little surprise, but we thought we'd pop on really quick during qualifying and follow along with qualifying. So the car currently is in the pits, in the garage, actually. I don't know if you guys followed along, but there was an incident on track during practice where we hit the wall and did some pretty decent right side damage to the car. They replaced suspension on both the front and the rear, and some body work. They're currently doing the alignment on the car right now. And right now the plan is to get the car out on track for this qualifying session. So I'm listening in. I haven't heard yet as to when we're going to be ready. But the plan is to get the car out. So we have 44 minutes left in the session at the moment. And we'll try to get the car ready. But in the meantime, we thought we'd jump on, talk a little bit about what we're doing, test all our systems and things on our side, and maybe answer some questions that we're getting from you guys.
Yeah, please feel free to type in any question you have or whatever. We're gonna just make sure we test all of this, all the communications back and forth with all the different channels.
Yeah, so Shipley, we see you sending some stuff in.
Yeah.
So thanks for that. Is that
So those are coming in
Batista?
from
Yeah,
YouTube.
good to hear you. Thanks for joining. So Brad, I believe we should introduce ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're really bad at that. We've actually started a podcast that we're doing weekly on General Motorsports, and we forget to introduce ourselves. So my name is Luke Sager. I've been a Pratt Miller for 6 years, doing a lot of different things on the engineering side, a lot in NASCAR, really. But my heart is in sports car, and I was lucky enough to do sports car very early in my career. But now I'm back again doing more sports car related things. I know a lot on the technical side. I'll be talking a lot about the race strategy side of things, what's going on with the team, following along with how we're doing. And then, Brad, why don't you say?
And you're a trained engineer.
So I am technically an engineer.
And technically, I am not an engineer.
Yeah.
So my name is Brad Zimmerman. I've been with Pratt Miller since January of this year. Been in and around motorsports for a little over 20 years. And I've been to Le Mans once with another team. I have watched it for many, many years. I think it is fascinating, all the different types of cars that are out there. My position with Pratt Miller is with partnership development and marketing, specifically of the motorsports division. And this is somewhat of a new dawn with Pratt Miller because my position is newly created. So I think hopefully everyone that's watching this has seen all of the content we've been pushing out over the last. We've been talking about it for a while, but it really is come to fruition the last few weeks.
Yeah.
So we want to keep that clip going. We want to make sure that we are keeping people informed of what's going on during race weekend, and then also when it's not race weekend. So I I have worked in motorsports. I am also a motorsports and car fan. I love cars. So a lot of this content is being started based on what I want to see as a fan. So that's kind of keeping everything customer centric and listening to people on social media, what they want. I am new to the Corvette fan base. So that's been fun to learn. Yeah, just good.
Yeah, that was good. So you're right. So really our motivation for this is we realize it's pretty hard to follow along what's really happening in a race, and specifically if you want to focus on one specific team, what's really happening. And we've in the industry, we've been accustomed to being at the track and having more data than we know what to do with. So taking a step back and looking at it from a fan's perspective, we realized how starved everyone is for real information as to what's going on.
And so for this race in general, there's 61 official cars plus Garage 56. So there's 62 cars on track, and there's one Corvette. So even if we are leading our class, getting on TV is probably going to be pretty slim.
Yep.
So that is exactly why we're doing this, is just to shine a light on our team, our crew, what our car's doing, what some other top line stories that are happening throughout the weekend.
So sorry to interrupt, but they're just showing the command center.
It's quite a command center.
of the race control center and all their TVs and stuff. And they've outdone us, but we'll have to send you a picture of our studio. It's pretty good of all the stuff we've.
Okay, so why don't you explain all of the feeds that you have, and then I'll explain the stuff I'm doing.
Yeah, so just really quick, we're getting a couple questions here that I want to answer before that I want to answer really quick. So some questions about the chassis. Is it damaged? No, the chassis is fine. The chassis is okay. The way the car is actually designed is so that the chassis is the last thing that potentially could get damaged. It's designed with weak points built in so that the chassis remains undamaged, and we break things that are easier to repair. So the front and rear suspension are what was damaged, along with some body work. So those have been complete on the right side. So those have been completely redone, and new body work put in. And then Shipley, you're talking about watching time and scoring and onboard and things like that. So absolutely. But just hold on one sec. I just got a radio comms from the garage. I want to hear what they're saying. Hey, Matt, I had you muted there. Could you repeat that, please? Okay, what's your guess on ETA? I said guess. Okay, copy. Thank you. Okay, so that is some comms I have directly to the garage in the pits. They're saying that the car is going through final checks. They're thinking 10 or 15 minutes till it's going to be on track. So bigger picture, what do we have access to? What are we going to be watching to provide you guys insights with? So we are sitting in Huntersville, North Carolina. So Pratt Miller actually has two locations, one in Michigan, one in Huntersville, North Carolina. That's where we're currently located. We have comms to Le Mans directly. That's why I'm wearing this headset, so I can talk to people on the pit stand and the garage, what have you. I get comms, listen to the driver comms, engineering, all those things. So we'll have real up-to-date live comms that I can relay to all of you guys. We have the timing and scoring coming from the track, which is pretty comprehensive these days. We can see where the cars are on track. We can see their lap times or sector times, when they last pit. We get all the race control messages, when there's cautions or driver track infringement updates and so on. I also have race control on audio, so I can hear what's happening by audio. And then we're going to have hopefully in-car. So in-car is currently not up on MotorTrend, but they're going to have it up. So anyhow, that's our plan. So a few more questions. So Shipley's saying we need top 8. Yeah, that would be good. Got any lap time goals for this session? I would say, we want to shoot probably to get into the hyperpole. So just a little bit on how qualifying at Le Mans works is there are 2 sessions. So the first session is an hour session. It's open to all the cars. And it's just about laying down a fast lap. So you have a full hour time. You have, let's see here, you get an allocation of 28 tires for free practice and qualifying, and you just go out there and try to lay down some fast laps. And if you get in the top 8 of your category, you get into what's called the hyperpole, which is like a second qualifying session. That session is tomorrow, and it's short. It's like a half hour long. And that allows you to get from basically 8th up to pole in your class. So what would our goal be? It would be to get into that hyperpole session for sure, and that's about it.
Someone's asking if we've been fixed yet. I think we're getting pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. Just buttoning it up, doing some system checks. So I would expect that we're going to be out here soon.
And then if you are new to Pratt Miller Motorsports on the social media side, that QR code that's on the screen, that will take you to all of our new channels that have been created. There's a Pratt Miller corporate, which has been on social media for several years. That all is going to stay the same. We have created motorsports specific social media accounts. And so that's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and then we have a podcast that's carried on Spotify and Apple. And those are all of our new platforms. That's where we're pushing the majority of the content. And that's what I will be doing this weekend. So I'm going to be hooked up to all of our accounts. And I will be taking, as well as our Microsoft Teams account that we have, and that is on the pit box as well in France. So any communication that comes back and forth that we feel we can put out to the world, like, we put out a first couple of status updates with the car today. So we did that. So between the both of us, we're going to be pushing out either through the stream or through social media or both. A lot of information that really only we have, which is the whole point.
Yeah, so just really quick, guys. Red flag again during this session. The second red flag, and I'm just watching race control messages and just tons and tons of yellows going out. So not a lot of fast laps have been even put down yet. So right now I'm looking at the results, and right now we've got the 54 Ferrari. They ran a 3:56.9, which is still off of practice times from earlier today. And there's only 3 cars. So 3 cars have laid down a reasonable qualifying time. And we're looking at half an hour left in the session. Nothing's really transpired. So although it's not great that we haven't been out on track, we haven't lost too much actual real track running.
And Shipley, our podcast is the Coast Down podcast. It's on Apple and Spotify. And if you click the QR code,
Matt, could you repeat again? I was muted.
I believe the last button on the link tree will take you right to our podcast. And that podcast, we talk about the previous weekend in NASCAR, Formula One, sports car racing, and IndyCar, both on the track and off the track through engineering eyeballs and through marketing eyeballs. So that's kind of what we do with that podcast. It's pretty fun. Each episode is about an hour, and we try and record it on Tuesday afternoons after TV ratings come out.
Okay, copy that.
And any penalties
The session
come
clock's still counting like this time counts. It's not pausing or anything. So they'll add time at the end. Okay, copy. That's interesting. My screen's not doing that for whatever reason, but that's good to know. The session times. HH. Okay, copy that. Thanks for explaining that. Okay, so yep, copy. Is the WEC website correct, do you know? Okay, copy. Okay, I'm gonna mute you for a sec, but thank you. Okay, so yeah, sorry about that, guys. All right, so what's going on is, yeah, anytime there's a red flag in qualifying, they pause the 1 hour clock. So there's still a ton of time left in qualifying. We really haven't missed much. There's about 45 minutes left in qualifying at this point. So this is good for us. It allows us to get our cars back together. And like I said, again, there's really only 3 cars that have laid down a lap at this moment. So it's kind of a positive that we're seeing these red flags.
And was there any more insight as to when the car is going to be done?
They're close.
Okay.
So yeah, if you guys go to the WEC website, and we should add this to, can I add that to the chat? I'm gonna get in here so I can do this also. I'm gonna throw the link, guys, in our chat here to the time and scoring on the WEC, which I think you'll find pretty helpful here. So I'll get that up there, and that should have.
Shipley, we see your questions. We have no idea what you're talking about.
Did you guys get? Oh, yeah. No, that was not us. Those were some of our colleagues that went to that event. But yeah, wow, you're you definitely know what's going on. I'm impressed here. All right, so I'm getting in the studio here so I can drop in a link for you guys. And I'm gonna unmute this so I can hear what's going on. So I'm starting to hear some engineer chatter, which means the guys are on the pit stand. All right. So, sorry, that was me, guys. Yeah, so I just dropped in the link there to the lifetime of scoring, and I'm looking at that now. And what's nice about that is you can actually filter on class, and then this is good too. So this does have race control messages, which is super nice. You can see that it's a red flag. And look at that. So in the top right corner, you'll see the remaining time in the session, which is 43 minutes. So it's holding at 43 minutes and 42 seconds. Still red flag, but it looks like guys are getting lined up to go out now.
Shipley, where do you live? If people are still listening, I'd love to see where everyone's checking in from. That'd be interesting to know.
All right, so let's see what's going on. So cars look to be putting on new sets of tires, getting ready for this red flag to end, and getting this the session going again.
Oh, we got Texas, Alabama. Awesome.
Oh, right on. Yeah, the other thing it's gonna be fun to hear from you guys are, what sort of setups you guys have at your house to follow along. Oh, Metro Detroit, right on. So they just announced on Race Control that the session's going to resume here pretty soon, and actually you can see that too. So so this live that link I just posted is actually pretty awesome. It's got all the race control messages. Okay, so the track is green, so that's great.
So if we don't get a time, if we use all 43 minutes and can't get out there for a time, what happens then? And given the fact it's a 24-hour race and the huge racetrack, how critical is starting from the back, or is it just not really that big of a deal?
Well, there's a lot of cars that are in class. So yes, there's a 24-hour. So basically, if we do not get out there, what would happen is we would start at the tail end
of our class.
With 62 cars.
Yep.
And how many? 62 cars and there's 21 in our class. That's a lot of cars to start. But it is a 24-hour race. The problem, with traffic and having to start at the back and race through a field of 21 cars is there's a lot of risk of getting caught up with them and potentially having an accident or going off track or
and you're going to get
and having damage.
The hypercars coming quick.
Yes, but you're not technically racing those, right? So that's a different type of pass.
Yep. But it's just extra stuff to
absolutely
get in the way.
But a interclass pass or battle like that's for position is going to be of higher risk, we'll say, than a hypercar passing you.
Yep.
So anyway, there is that risk. You have to run harder, those sort of things. So ideally, yes, you'd like to start up front, be ahead of the people you are racing, be able to run smart, conservatively, safely, protect your car a lot more. So that would be the end. But
Bautista 63 checking in from Puerto Rico. Look at that.
How about that? That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
So Shipley's chiming in. He's got a monitor.
He's got the full rig setup.
Yeah, monitor for the race, laptop for timing and scoring. Right on. Yeah, so we have is that a 50-something inch screen?
Oh, I think it's at least a 70. It's not small.
Yeah, so we've got like a 70-inch screen in front of us with the race broadcast here, and then off to the side. Oh, look at that! Where you guys can't see, I've got my monitor set up over there, and then Brad's got the same on his side. He's got. Let's see if you can get our camera to. How do I fix that?
Yeah, we did a trial run with this stream for the Laguna Seca race, and we had another camera that we used, and it worked, but it wasn't as clear. But we got a new camera, but it's also one that has intelligence a little bit built in, so it'll if there's movement, it'll follow you. So then we have to manually get the thing back.
Yeah, I think so. I think what that is a hand motion activates the following.
So the robots are coming.
So we can't be waving our hands all around too much. So yeah, we lost the feed.
Yeah. Well, so again, this is still a MotorTrend help thing. So I'm wondering if people watching from home are having issues with MotorTrend.
Yeah, we've had a couple problems here with the MotorTrend feed.
Which hopefully they get all that ironed out.
Okay, so I'm not hearing anything from the pits yet, so we're still not. Here we go. Let's try again. Still not on track. But let's see if what's going on with our in-class competitors here. Yeah, so I'm sure everyone's out on track trying to get getting some green flags in. But no new times yet have been posted. I see a lot of the GTM is basically hitting the backstretch now. So in another couple minutes, we'll probably see some lap times starting to pop up. So let's see if we can get this feed going.
Yeah, Le Mans BOP gives us anxiety too. So it's just the nature of the beast, and it's quite the game everyone plays, and it's just trying to make it work. When it comes to that, I'm old school mentality. Like if you build a fast car, you build a fast car, and I know that's probably not what they want to hear, because then it potentially turns into a spending war. But yeah, it's not always fun. Sometimes you're on the good end of it, and sometimes you're not.
Yeah, so this year the BOP that we have is somewhat hurtful relative to last year at Le Mans. Right now, I would say Ferrari seem to have received the best BOP, and we are the most concerned about them as a competitor this year. And in practice, and the test, they seem to appear to be the fastest. So still trying to get broadcast going.
Shipley's watching both, no issues.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so the chatter on the radio right now is, surprised that no one's getting clean laps in. But I think we're going to potentially see some laps dropping in right now. Some faster laps. Oh, that might be working here. So yeah, right now the Ferrari, maybe that's not even correct. So the other thing with this qualifying that's going to be really interesting to watch is a lot of laps are going to get removed because of track limits. So it's going to be pretty important to stay up on who's actually completing a clean lap versus hitting track limits.
And track limits is like how are they defining that?
So basically, you can essentially cut the track and have two. I think it's two wheels or whatever inside of the corners, like hopping the curbs and things like that counts as track limit violations. So people are physically watching that and reporting that and reporting it into race control, the stewards on the various corners. And I don't know if that gets, we'll have to see if that gets posted on the FIA time and scoring, but we can monitor that. So let's see if I can get to this. Motorsports. Hold on, let me go to this. All right. Where's the live stuff?
It was on the far left.
There we go. All right.
There you go.
Okay, I see some lap times starting. Okay, there we go. There's some lap times coming in. Yep. So, they're all posting. They all just went through start finish line and posted some times. So of course, Ferrari, no surprise. Wow, a 352, and right behind them, an Aston Martin with a 353, and then another, of course, Ferrari with a 353. So they finally got some green, some good green qualifying laps, and we're seeing a 352. That's pretty fast. I think the fast. Did we see a 352 in practice this morning? I think it might have been a 350. No, I think that's faster. I think that's a bit faster than practice this morning. So no surprise, but we're starting to see some green flag laps. Okay, so now we're down to about 33 minutes in the session. Let me see if I can get some intel as to how we're coming. Hey, Matt, any updates on timing? Okay, copy. We're finally starting to see some green flag laps come in here. Yep, copy that. So, all right, 33 minutes left. Still plenty of time to get out there. No yet indication when we'll. Okay. A comment here. Audio, video doesn't sync on Twitch. FYI, not that that's a big deal.
I think it's just a latency issue.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so just so everyone knows, Matt on the other end is in France. Matt is a Pratt Miller employee, and he is logistics coordinator.
Yes.
And man, he's probably one of the most buttoned up people I've seen, with detailed notes,
Oh my gosh.
packing schematics.
Yeah.
But in order to have a successful team, you need a Matt. And so he does not hold a wrench, so he is there to support. That's why he's able to pretty freely respond back to us without being stuck in competition world. But Matt's going to be really good help for us getting information back and forth.
Yeah, and he just reported that we're getting pretty close. We're getting everything buttoned up and should be out. Class. So can you never tell with Ferrari? Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. So now, we're still looking at those fast times. We see some more cars coming through, finishing their lap now. Sorry, Matt, come again. Copy, thank you. All right, yeah, so Nikki Katzberg, who's going to be driving, is getting into the car right now, getting ready to roll. So we're a few minutes away of getting out on track, which is great. Okay, yeah, some more fast laps. So now, Charlie Eastwood in the Aston Martin, number 25, who's been one of the cars we've been battling with all season in the WEC. Just laid down a fast lap, a 3:52.4. So that puts him to the front of the board by half a second over the Ferraris. So now we're kind of looking at to get into the top 8, we're looking at something like a 3:54. 3:54.1 now, which is what the Proton just did. So right now we've got the Aston Martin at the top, followed by 4 Ferraris, 1, 2, 3, 4 Ferraris, and then another Aston Martin. The top Porsche right now, Iron Dames just went up to 8th with a 3:53.9. So they've laid down 3 or 4 hot laps. So it'll be interesting to see if those tires are kind of past their peak and start falling off, and they come in for new tires, or if they stay out running. So we keep an eye on that. In fact, I would do that now. So the 25 still out running, which is the Aston Martin. The 83 still on track. Still most of these cars are still running around posting fast laps. So we're not going to be in too bad a shape considering, once we see how the car does. There's a good chance the car may come out, just run a exploratory lap, and then come in and let the mechanics take a look at it. So we'll have to see what we end up doing there. James, so the car has not yet posted a lap. We had a crash in practice this morning, I guess this afternoon in France time. Pretty heavy right side damage, and the team's been hammering down trying to get that replaced. They replaced both the right rear suspension and some body work.
And because of the type of crash it was, the rules, we had to replace the seatbelt system, which sounds, of all the things we needed to fix, sounds the easiest, but I think it's actually the hardest. Like even working in late model dirt cars, like getting into the cockpit and then having to get to the 4 bolts is one of the bigger challenges. But we had someone with the right geometric shaped hands, I guess, to get in and undo the bolts. So, when replacing suspension corners, you can get to it. A couple people can get to it fairly easy at the same time. But those installing a seat and seat belts is always a huge pain in the ass.
So latest reports are putting tires on the car now. So that means they're pulling them off the warmers, taking them out of the warmers and bolting them right up. So on TV, they are showing the 83 car. So I just got a confirmation. Thanks, Matt. Copy. Thank you. So those laps we kind of saw earlier are still holding for our class. Let's see here. I see if they're still out on track or if they're where they all are. So there's the 85 coming around. '85, '86. $352, $4. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So they've bested some of their times there with those last laps. So yeah. So car's still getting faster. And then another Austin has jumped up to third. So that's interesting. So they've been out there for a total of 8 laps, probably on this stint, 5 or so, and lap times are still increasing, decreasing. Times are getting faster. So now.
So garage 56, 347.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So now to get into the top 8, we're looking at a 353. So, okay. So the Corvette is being rolled out on pit road. They are going to do an installation lap, which means they're going to go run out just one lap just to kind of shake the car down after putting it all back together.
Yeah.
So I just heard Mark Marini.
You can see in the back there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he just got dropped off the jacks. Looks like he's getting ready to go.
Yep. Yeah, I just heard from Mark Marini, the team manager, thanking and congratulating the crew for doing a good job getting everything fixed and buttoned up. So yeah, let's see. I'll keep an eye out here to see if I can see the car on track.
And for the Garage 56 car, just I'm sure most people watching the stream already knows, but I mean the car sounds awesome. Like it's I think that's another reason why it's garnering so much attention. They also don't have to play by any rules, so they should be running pretty stout times.
Yeah. So looking at the other categories, so that's interesting. Yeah, the 2 Toyotas are up front. The fastest Toyota ran a 3:25.4, and the next closest non-Toyota is a Porsche with a 3:25.8.
Cadillac, really.
So yeah, second slower. So the even though the Toyotas got dinged pretty good with BOP, are still show a pretty clear advantage. And then both Cadillacs, or 2 of the Cadillacs, are in 4th and 5th at the moment. And then there's one more Cadillac, the Action Express one, is pretty far down at the moment, down at 12th. So, all right. So let's see. So
let me get some of these pictures posted. These are some good ones. This is Nico hugging everyone for getting the car done.
what's that?
This is so Matt sent some pictures. I'll get them posted here. Really.
Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah. So also, in the details of the stream, we put in, a couple of ideas and links of what to look at or what to do. Following along on Twitter is fun too, seeing what we post, but also what others are posted. The Le Mans Twitter handle is actually really good. And they post a lot of content. So I don't know if you follow our social, but when we crashed this morning, this afternoon in France, it was only a couple minutes after till they posted.
Yeah, they were on it.
They posted the video of us going off track, so we reposted that. I personally use TweetDeck. I I find that really good, and you can have a little layout with various feeds coming in. It's a nice way to kind of look at it all together. So yeah, fastest in class at the moment is the number 25 Aston Martin, Charlie Eastwood driving, 352.4, and yes, they are in the pits now. I think a lot of those cars seem to have run like 3 or 4 hot laps, and are now down, cooling down the car, changing tires. I would suspect it might go out again. So let's see here. Still struggling to see if we are actually on track or we're back in. This is saying we're in sector 1 at the moment.
And those of you watching along on Twitter, so this is what we're going to try to accomplish all weekend is, so the picture I just posted on Twitter at 2, I got from Le Mans at 1:56. So we are going to try and do things as quickly as possible to make it feel like you're kind of already there. So I think you need to wave your arms to get the camera back.
Oh. Yeah, I wonder if we can turn that off.
I think there's got to be a way to disable the.
So whenever you start waving your hands, this thing turns on. I think there is. Well,
I talk with my hands. It's going to be
a problem. Don't do that. All right, there we are. Hey. All right, there we are, back centered. Okay, yeah, so we have done a lap.
Thank you, Judy. Judy, where are you watching the race from? What state do you live in?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, so we went out, we did a recon lap, brought the car and took a look at it. Everything's good. So now it's time to lay down some hot laps. So right now we are out on track somewhere. Let's see if I can get this working better.
Yep, car heading out. Let's hope for clear track and do some laps.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so we are on the Mulsanne straight right now. So, when you go out to qualify, it does take, you got to run one lap to cross the start finish line at speed. But it'll also take one lap to, get some heat into the tires and things like that. So we are on the back stretch. It's actually a pretty nice time because the traffic's spread out more than it has. And, there's a good amount of cars in the pits at the moment. So still fastest in classes is 352.4. And for us to get into the top 8, we are looking at a 353.4. So fairly tight. Yeah, so about a second gap from.
Yep, and I just retweeted a quick video from inside the garage that's coming from Corvette Racing Twitter, and that is manned by the General Motors PR person, and he is obviously in the middle of it. So when he posts some good content as well, I will do the same and retweet on our platform. So we're trying to get all the bases covered, and still trying to give you as best behind the scenes as possible.
Yeah, so through sector 1 into sector 2. So the car right now is, just wrapping up on the Indianapolis straight. And then another thing I've got is trying to keep track of all the corners and corner names and whatever. I've got my cheat sheet here. Because it's pretty long track with a lot of spots. And the other reason this is good as a reference is there's all these like track zones, right? And marshal posts. So when they do cautions or yellows, they're often localized in certain areas. So we'll be able to quickly kind of tell where they are. All right, so we are through the Porsche curves now, headed towards the start-finish line. So this, I had to post our first lap. Okay, so they're actually bringing the car in the pits to make a setup adjustment.
Nope, portion off.
So we are not going to post a fast lap. Which is okay because they just activated a slow zone at let's see here,
Turn
MP3. So MP3, looking at my cheat sheet here. So MP3s, yeah, super, it looks like right around the Dunlop Bridge, which isn't much past the start-finish line. And they're saying it's a slow zone from there.
They had a Porsche stuck in the kitty litter.
Yeah. So, so it's not as great with a slow zone is they don't pause the clock.
So he's gonna have to get pulled out, wouldn't you think?
Well, I believe if they do that, then they'll do a red flag.
Yeah, but
which would be good because we're looking at 13 minutes and 23 seconds left.
He was up to his axles in the rocks.
Yeah, and if they red flag it, that would be good. So that clock will stop for us. All right, so we're in the pits, making a setup change, and we're going to put a fresh set of warm tires on too. Oh, there's
another one.
Yep. There's another car off though. Oh, there's.
So he was able to come from behind and not have to go across the track. But still, a slow zone with equipment on the track, that seems a little dangerous.
So they're saying slow zone 1. Okay, yeah, look, there they are on, they're showing our car right now on TV. Putting on a new set of tires after making that setup change. But we do have some slow zones on the track right now.
Porsche is not, looks like it started and then stopped again.
Yep, another slow zone. So there's a bunch of slow zones on the track right now, which means, we can't lay down a full green fast lap. But that's okay. We need to get out there and get our tires hot.
Yep.
Things anyways. So I don't think anyone's run any real fast laps here in a little bit because of these slow zones and things. Yeah, so right now the hyperpole is an Aston Martin, a Ferrari, another Austin, and then 3 Ferraris. There's one Porsche, the Iron Lynx, number 60 is in 7th, and then another
So Matt said
Aston Martin.
Made quick adjustments while slow zone was out and back out. Hope to get a clear lap in. All depends on clear lap.
Yeah, so if we get we're not going to get many laps in, good, clean laps in, because there's 10 minutes left in a session, right? And a lap takes 3:52. So right now we are on the back stretch on the Mousseline straight. So we're at least a few minutes from the start finish line. So we gotta hope that some of these slow zones get removed as we go.
That's so we got 1, 2, 3, 6,
Oh, that's
9,
interesting.
12. So there's at least 25 people
in that control center.
in the control center. Yep.
So this is interesting. Hypercar, now the 2 Ferraris jumped to Toyotas.
Yeah, it's
So
a
now
big
we
deal.
have 2 Ferraris, 2 Toyotas, 2 Porsches, and then the Cadillacs are 7th and 8th.
And I would have to imagine they're trying to play the time because if you cross start finish line with time still on the clock, 3 seconds left, is that last lap counted?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm sure they're going to try and play the clock and do exactly that. Start their last lap.
Yeah, they're activating another slow zone though. At slow zone 5. So 5.
So is BOP done with until the race? Someone's asking that.
They've made adjustments after qualifying.
In the past. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So now they're showing the Corvette on track. Yeah. So
Autista, yes, it could happen.
Yeah. So we're going through the Porsche curves right now.
There's another Porsche. Iron
Oh,
Dames.
Iron Dames is off. So that's at the end of the Mousseline straight.
It's like the 3rd Porsche.
Okay, so they're just saying they're removing the zone 5 slow zone, which is at the end of the Mousseline straight.
So that's where she is.
After the Michelin chicane, so that should help because we are just entering the Mousseline straight now. Okay. Yeah. Next slow zone. Remove that P16. All right, so we are on a
Flyer.
on a fast lap. The only question is are there any slow zones that are going to impede us? Slow zone 5 will be removed at 2016. Yeah.
So they pulled the Porsche off. The slow zone graphic is still there. Oh, they just pulled it. Okay.
Yeah, so we are good. So this is good.
This could work.
Be a clean lap. lap for us. All right, so we are on the back on the Moselene. Is that how you say it? Moselene? Mulsanne?
Yep.
We're on the Mulsanne straight right now, about to go through the Michelin chicane, which is the second chicane, on a hot lap, so that's really good. Oh, so now we're on the Indianapolis straight.
Is it the Glickenhaus?
About to go up through Arnage. So this is our hot lap. We do have 5 minutes, so we do have time for probably 2 more hot laps after this. So we are going to get in some good ones here. Now, I would expect that we'll see, not our best time on this first lap, but then I would expect we see, some improvement as we get into the, sort of second and third. So I think we'll get 3 laps in this one plus 2 more. And I would expect we'd see an improvement in lap time between those. So we are going through the Porsche curves now. So we're seconds away from posting our first hot lap. All right, so I've got anxiously awaiting our first green flag qual time.
Yeah, let me know where that is.
And it should be, okay, so it's 3:52.22. So, wow, guys, that's up to P1.
Oh, jeez.
Up to P1. How about that? Their brand new suspension. Put her there, Brad.
Jesus.
We waved our hands.
Who needs a whole hour to qualify?
We just need 1 lap. Yeah, so it took. I was digesting that for a minute because I still don't see it on the WEC feed, but I see it in the timed scoring. Now, the one thing we just need to watch for
track limits
is a track limit. Yeah. And why isn't that? That's interesting. So, I'm not sure why it's doing this, but in WEC, by ranking, it's showing us in second place. I don't know why. Oh, there's a +1. What does that mean?
So Matt's saying we're staying out. P1 fastest, keep going on this.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this +1 on this means. But yeah, that was the fastest term. It's car 10. So we just got to look to make sure our lap doesn't get pulled, so it does not. All right, so yeah, laid down a flyer. That's awesome. If it stands here, how cool is that? And what a story that is.
Yeah.
That way came out and did that. So yeah, let's see here what happens. So he's 3/10. He's 3/10 slower on this current lap. Yeah, he's slower on this lap, guys. So he's slower in S1 and S2. So this lap's not going to be as fast as that first one. Interesting. But yeah, that's showing us first. I don't understand why on WEC here they have this +1. I'm going to take a snippet of this or I'll let's use the call a friend here. Hey Matt, it's Luke. You copy? Sorry, Matt, you got a copy? Yeah, copy. On the WAC webpage, it's showing us 2 with like a +1 in brackets after that. I mean, that was a clean lap, and we weren't penalized at all, were we?
Yeah, it's showing P1 up there.
Yeah, copy that. This lap, I can tell that this lap was, what is he's done slower. And okay, yeah, awesome, incredible. Wow, how about that? So this is, let's see here. This is his,
Yeah, this is a huge deal. 3-2-1-0 times out. Like, again, looking at all the icons, it's basically a Porsche and Ferrari party. And to be P1 with the sole entry for Chevrolet, that is a big deal. Such a big deal.
okay, so this lap is, so this is his 3rd hot lap. And it is sector time-wise slower yet. So I would not expect this lap to be any faster than that first one.
What were the next 2 laps that he ran? How much slower were they?
So he ran 3:52.2 was his fastest.
Yeah.
His next lap he did a 3:52.9.
Yeah.
And this one isn't completed, but his sector times are slower.
Yeah. Which I'd imagine is expected.
Yep.
Yep.
So there we go.
That's big.
Wow. How did you ever think that was going to happen?
No.
Okay. So, we just got bumped down to P2. For a 54 Ferrari just laid down. Okay,
Oh,
they
finishing
took off
their
that
lap.
last one. Yeah, the 54 Ferrari just ran out and snuck in a faster one. Okay, P2.
So are
Wow.
all GT cars off the track and completed?
Sorry, what was that?
Are all GT cars done, or are there still?
There's still some coming.
Okay, so I'll hold off.
Still a few coming across. I think there's 2 more yet to go. All right, so we got 2 more GT cars across the finish line here. Now it's 1 more. That's the 33. Oh, no, sorry, that's us. I think that's it.
So that's it.
I think that's it. So, we did get pushed down to 3rd because the 54 ran a 3:51.9. Okay.
Okay.
So 2 Ferraris. So the 83 Richard Mille AF Corsa is on point, followed by the second AF Corsa car, the 54. Then us in third, Austin in fourth, then another Ferrari, Austin, Ferrari. So yeah, the Porsche, best Porsche right now is 9th. So a couple Aston Martins, some Ferraris, and us onto
That's big.
Hyperpole. So
Hypercar. So yeah. Do that. Okay.
all right.
All right. You want to sign off?
So any final thoughts or notes? I thought that went pretty well.
Yep.
I mean, we were great on track. Holy cow! The fact that we didn't basically broke the car pretty bad, and
Yep.
testing had basically an hour and a half to get the car fixed.
Mhm.
Put a whole new front and rear right side suspension along with some body work, and then
And a seatbelt.
and a seatbelt. So after you do that, you got to go do a full alignment on the car,
Yep.
on the setup pad. We went out and did our recon shakedown lap. We did a setup change, and really we got one shot at it,
Yep.
right?
And
It was one run.
They pulled that slow area, that slow zone, just at the
Just in
right
time.
time.
You're right. And that was our fastest lap. And what's funny is in time scoring, they have that lap marked as a yellow, meaning it was like a caution lap. So to get that,
Oh, there they go.
that's really, yeah, that's cool.
Nico was sweating bullets. He was the one that backed into the barrier this morning.
Yeah, he feels absolutely terrible. But what a relief to, look at him. So if you haven't seen it,
Good practice run.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, good practice for the mechanics to
That's right.
work, come over that adversity. And that's what I love about sports car racing is just, whenever you think you're down and out, like you just keep battling and fighting and you can pull off these miracles more often than not. And, not to toot our own home, but Pratt Miller is, known for never giving up, always digging down. It doesn't matter if we're a lap or two down, we'll keep fighting. And
Thanks to everyone for joining in. And again, when we do this over the weekend, the more questions, the better. We want to make this really interactive. And feel free to share with your friends. That QR code will get you to all the main channels. And
thanks for joining, everyone. I think it was a good first shakedown for us.
Yep.
So we're gonna stream the whole. Well, we'll try to stream the whole 24 hours. Hopefully, we can hold out and make it. It'll be quite the experience.
We have a Starbucks, which is about 600 yards from this building, so that might have to.
Well, and we plan to have a good amount of guests call in and join us to help not only provide commentary but to interview. We're working on a bunch of videos we'll be dropping and putting in to help entertain us and you and give us a chance to catch our breath here and there. But really excited for it and can't wait for it. So we should stream the Hyperpole too tomorrow, right? So and we'll stream the Hyperpole tomorrow. It's about right now. I think it's about 2:00 or something.
Okay.
Tomorrow. So okay, guys, thanks so much. Have a good one and a great day.
All right.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching.